Hey guys, the Dark Knight 360 here. I'm the Dark, bringing you a match against the Killer Mushroom 333. As you can see, it looks like they have a couple walls, a few attackers, and then one status-inducing or baton-passing Volbeat. So we'll see how this plays out. They lead off with a High Dragon, and I just lead off with Deadweight. And as you can see, they go for the Draco Meteor, so it leads me to believe they're spexed. And it seems like they were merely adopted by the Dark, but since my Deadweight was born in it, I can go for the U-turn, survive that Draco Meteor, it does a nice amount of damage, and I get to get the nice switch advantage. So I send out Chansey, my special wall, and he retreats, thinking I was going to go for a Toxic maybe, and I do not. I go for a Seismic Toss because I saw that coming. So it does 100 damage, they get the lefties, and I go for Protect just to see what they're going to do, and he just sets up the spikes. So I didn't see that coming. I thought he might have gone for like a Whirlwind or something, but right now I retreat and go to my Shadow Tag Chandelure because he said it was okay to use Japanese release Dream World abilities, but he goes for the Whirlwind, so I didn't get anything off at all. Goes back into Chansey, so that was very unfortunate for me. All the while he's getting lefties, restoring his health and whatnot. I go back into my Chandelure, and he retreats. Goes into his special wall, so I retreat again, and I go for Terrakion to force a switch. Get some spikes damage, and Chansey goes for the Toxic. I'm really regretting not having Heal Bell on my Chansey right now. I went for Protect and Toxic instead, so makes a very good play. Goes into his High Dragon because he knows I'm just going to go for a CC or something like that. He just wants to send that out for death fodder. So I wasted my fighting gem, but it's okay, I got rid of that High Dragon, so that's really good for me. Get some toxic damage. And in comes Dragonite. I go for the Stone Edge, but this only does about half because he has multi-scale ability. Dragonite goes for the DD, getting that attack and speed up one stage, and the toxic damage is really railing me. Dragon Claw comes in and gets the kill, so there goes my attacker. Here comes in Meta Knight, and he goes for the Fire Punch, thinking I would die from it, but I am rocking Okaberry, so I take that like a champ, and I go for the Ice Punch, which will end up getting the kill. So I got rid of that Dragonite, was very happy about that. In comes Heatran. I really didn't want to risk anyone else dying, so I just trashed my Metagross here. Go for the Bullet Punch, just to get as much damage as I can. It does about nothing. Here comes the Overheat, which gets rid of my Meta Knight. I sound out Archeops, and he retreats, thinking I was going to go for an EQ probably, but I predicted that, and I went for Acrobatics instead. Because this is base 2, 75 damage, but it does a lot less than I thought against the Skarmory. So I stay in, just keep going for Stone Edges, and he Whirlwinds out my Archeops, sadly, into my Chansey. So I keep getting all this spikes damage. All the while Skarmory gets the nice lefties. I switch out and go into my Chandelure, hoping he's not going for the Whirlwind once again. And he roosts, so that was good. I figured he would because he was down below half. So I finally get in my Chandelure, and I think I can go for the kill. I go for Heat Wave, and it misses. And he Whirlwinds me out. So that sucked for me. Out comes my Death Star, get some spikes damage, and I go for a Thunderbolt here, but he switches into the special wall that is Chansey, and this does horse nothing. So I switch out into my Chansey as well, get some spikes damage. He goes for Toxic, and at this point I'm thinking, wow, I really wish I had Heal Bell. So I just go for Seismic Toss, see what he's going to do, and he's soft-boiled, so basically he's going for the Toxic Stall method. Right here, I use Toxic. Give him a taste of his own medicine. He goes for a Seismic Toss, and I'm getting very close to dying. He gets some toxic damage. I go for soft-boiled this time, because I think I can survive another round of poison damage as well as a Seismic Toss. Goes for Seismic Toss on me, and the Toxic rails me. And the Toxic also does a hefty amount of damage to him. Keeping in mind this is a Chansey that has 704 HP. He goes for Aromatherapy this turn, getting rid of his poison. I go for Heat Wave. This does a nice amount of damage actually, considering how beastly this Chansey special defense is. He goes for Toxic on me, and slowly but surely my Chandelure is getting killed. So I switch out. He goes for the Soft Boiled, and I have Archeops out, so this should force the switch. He does indeed switch into Skarmory, the defensive wall. I go for Stone Edge. I think he also thought I was going for like an EQ or something maybe, or he just wanted to switch into a defensive wall. And he pulls off another Whirlwind on me into my Chandelure. So that sort of sucked for him if I can hit a Heat Wave for once. The Toxic starting to kill my Chandelure. I go for Heat Wave and it finally hits, which will definitely be enough to get rid of this Skarmory. Shadow Tag came in handy for sure right there. And out comes Heatran. I go for a Heat Wave because I'm Choice Spexed, and I don't really want to trash anyone else. So my Chandelure goes down, in comes Dead Weight. I pull off the EQ, and of course this thing is 4 times weak to ground type attacks. So I get the kill. That was great. That Heatran was going to be very annoying. In comes Volbeat, and it goes for the Thunder Wave, which is great, but not really. So I get paralyzed, and of course I get a Parahax the first turn. I couldn't even pull off a Stone Edge or anything. And he tries to pull those Confuse Ray paralysis shenanigans. And I hit myself, so everything's going great. He retreats into his Chansey, thinking I'm going to switch or something like that, but I don't. I go for another Stone Edge, basically trying to get rid of this thing. And it doesn't do as much as I hoped. So I send out my Chansey right now. Almost dies from the entry hazards. He goes for Soft Boiled. Good move to get that Chansey back to full. It's becoming a real big threat to my team right now, because I basically only have one more special attacker and then a really handy caps Archeops. So he goes for Seismic Toss after I get a Soft Boiled up. I go for another Soft Boiled because I want to prolong the life of my Chansey as long as possible. He goes for the Toxic now, and I'm thinking again, wow, I really wish I had Heal Bell, but alas, I do not. So I go for the Toxic, knowing he has Aromatherapy, but I just want to rack up some damage, as little as I can. He goes for another Seismic Toss, and basically we're just stalling it out here with our Chanseys. I go for a Seismic Toss. Not too interesting here. Goes for Aromatherapy, getting rid of the Toxic. All the while, I'm being railed by it. I go for Toxic again, just thinking ahead for when my Chansey does die. He gets off another Soft Boiled, and my health dwindles to 128. I go for a Soft Boiled here because I'm pretty sure I can survive one more round of Toxic or a Seismic Toss, or both together. He goes for the Seismic Toss, and as you will see, his Toxic is really crippling. So I switch out into my Starmie finally, which takes a little bit of damage from Spikes. He goes for Aromatherapy, curing that Toxic. But I have Psyshock on this thing. Really glad I put that on there, and it does a great amount of damage. He goes for another Soft Boiled, but I basically decided I'm keeping my Death Star in there until I kill this thing, or until it kills me. So I go for another Psyshock, and it does about half damage. He goes for a Seismic Toss on me, and I can survive 2 of those. I go for another Psyshock here, and just when I think nothing good will happen for me, I get a crit. So that was great. I would not have been able to take that thing out with anything else other than my Starmie. So I switch out here because I don't want it to get paralyzed, because its Volbeat does have Prankster. He goes for the Light Screen here, so I'm glad I didn't attack. And this is his last Pokemon. He goes for a Confuse Ray on my Chansey, but I get off the Soft Boiled. I was doing that just in case he had anything that could kill this Chansey. I didn't want to take any risks, so I healed myself. He goes for the T-Wave on me just for those shenanigans and whatnot. And I hit myself, but it does next to nothing. He goes for another Thunder Wave. He might have thought I was going to switch, but I just stayed in. I get the paralysis this time, and he forfeits. So it was a really good battle against him. Make sure to check out his channel, and I hope you guys enjoy the match as much as I did. So have a great day, comment, rate, and subscribe. See ya.